Quick card first, Brewers and Dodgers. Over 7.5 at -120. Blue Jays and Mariners, over 7 at -110. Bengals plus 5.5 at -110. Let's load the math and unload the myths. For context, the NLCS shifts to Los Angeles with the Dodgers up 2-0, and the ALCS is in Seattle after Toronto punched back in Game 3. Recency bias is already steering people into the ditch. We'll drive around it. Brewers at Dodgers, total over 7.5. The market is staring at two low-scoring openers and whispering, pitcher's duel. That's like watching two coin flips land tails and concluding gravity changed. The environment matters. Dodger Stadium has juiced home run carry in recent seasons, and this lineup does not need charity to clear a modest number. Meanwhile, Jose Quintana brings the exact profile we want to attack in this park. A gap between ERA and FIP, plus a skinny strikeout minus walk rate that invites loud contact. That's how overs start, quietly, with base runners. Tyler Glasnow is excellent, but an over doesn't require a 5-5 slugfest. It can look like 6-2 because one side did the heavy lifting. The Dodgers were second in runs and homers in the regular season, and against a contact manager with a 7% strikeout minus walk rate, their power plays early. If Milwaukee chips in 2 or 3 against the middle relief, we're home. And yes, the series score has people yelling under, but notice who's yelling. Big Al's preview calls it Dodgers 4-1 and underscript because he's marrying form to fear. We're marrying form to physics. In this park, one mistake becomes 2 runs. That's not narrative, that's run environment math. Toronto at Seattle, total over 7. 7 is a tiny bar in modern baseball unless both starters suppress damage. Luis Castillo can. Max Scherzer, at 41, has been more generous than a holiday bake sale. 19 home runs in 85 innings translates to roughly 2 per 9. Combine that with a 5.19 ERA and a near 5 FIP, and you've got the ideal ignition source against a lineup that finished near the top of the league in home runs. Also, Toronto just reminded everyone their bats exist by dropping double digits in Game 3. A one-sided burst plus a competent opponent's 3 is still an over. I know the under 7 at T-Mobile crowd will wave the marine layer like a talisman. Some even stamped under in earlier write-ups this week. Here's the problem. You're underwriting a total, not a stadium tour. Scherzer's go-for-ball rate plus Seattle's power equals instant variance. And variance is gasoline on a low total. If you're taking under 7 in 2025 and ignoring a 2.0 home runs per 9 profile, you're not betting. You're cosplaying as a run prevention model. Winners and Whiners literally posted under 7 for the earlier game in this series. We're happy to spot them a trend while we take the math. Steelers at Bengals, Bengals plus 5.5. Divisional dogs on a short week are the cockroaches of betting edges. They survive every narrative apocalypse. The spread itself is value, plus 5.5 sits on 3 and 4, so Pittsburgh can control the game and still fail to clear the margin. That matters in a rivalry that split results and points almost perfectly over the last 10 meetings. You don't need a Cincinnati masterpiece. You need Cincinnati to be Cincinnati at home on a Thursday. That's it. The public tilt is on Pittsburgh against the number, which is adorable. Betting against a publicly backed road favorite on a short week isn't brave. It's arithmetic. Add in the injury noise on Pittsburgh's back end. Questionable at safety is not what you want when the other guy has Jamar Chase, and suddenly that back door isn't just open, it's on a hinge sale. If you're laying points here because Pittsburgh is 5-1, you're confusing outcomes with process. Process says this number flatters the favorite. We'll take the cushion. And because calling out celebrity confidence without math is a public service, Tony's pick staff floated a Steelers 24-13 script, covering the favorite with room to spare. That's the kind of forecast you get when you judge teams by vibes and press clippings. Our card respects that Pittsburgh can win, while 5.5 remains a tall ask in this precise spot. Recap one more time. Brewers and Dodgers over 7.5 at -120. Blue Jays and Mariners over 7 at -110. Bengals plus 5.5 at -110. Bet numbers, not narratives. The math wins. Eventually, it always does.